Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this graphic, and at first I thought it was a vector, but if you look close enough, it's fuzzy and it's just a bitmap. So they want to cut out the motorcycle man, so I've already done it. It's a vector now, and it's got a hairline around it, and he can adjust that. So what we're going to do, this thing is, I'm going to change your measurements to inches just so I can tell more about it. So it's less than 7 inches. So I'm going to set my nudge factor on 8. And for the one I'm doing it for, set this on 0, 0. When you make a duplicate, it makes a big difference. So I'm going to make a duplicate of that. I'm going to move it over. And I'm going to just work on the motorcycle guy because there is some problems with this drawing. So what we're going to do with it selected, you've got to have it selected and go to your crop tool and crop out pretty much just the motorcycle guy and then say crop. So now we need to get rid of those trees. So we're going to grab the shape tool and we're going to add a node there and we're going to add a node there and we're just going to bring this in. Got rid of those trees. We're going to add a node here and a node here and just bring this in and you got rid of those trees. So we need to get rid of the other trees. So we're going to make another node there and another node there. And then we'll just turn all these into a curve by selecting them and right-clicking and turning them into a curve. And then when you click on here, you can, basically we're taking that tree out. We might better just do one node here and maybe put it up in here and just get rid of that tree. Now, it's still a bitmap. So what we need to do is we're going to make it's pretty small. We're going to leave it the size it is. Now, I tell you what, let's make it a little bit smaller. And we're going to there is some other garbage in there. Well, it's my nodes. And if we look at it under wireframe, you can see my nodes and see the grayed out motorcycle. So go back to enhance, and then we're going to trace, outline, trace, clip art. It's going to take just a second. It's already there, but it's got some lines in it. I'm going to nudge it the other way. Now I'm going to nudge it too far, but that's fine. Now, you can't really see it until you move it. You see all the lines? So we're going to go to view in wireframe. We're going to select it and we're going to ungroup it all. And then we're going to take these lines. And when that happens, you know something else you need to do is go to object and break the curve apart. Then we can it's a little bit time consuming, but it'll be well worth it in the end. So we're going to click on all these lines and get rid of them. So I'm going to start on the top. You can do this two ways. You can use the pick tool like I'm using and hit delete, or you can use the shape tool. We're going to grab the shape tool and grab that line, and you can see the arrows that you need to delete. Sometimes this is an advantage in case you want, if you hit something and delete too much, you know with the shape tool you're only deleting the line. So we're going to get rid of all these lines. Now, one thing you can do is hold down the Alt key and select all those lines and hit delete. There's another line there. So wherever there's a free space, I'm going to take away that line. I don't think we need it. Take away that line. Whoops, see, I deleted something I shouldn't delete it. So hit the backup key and just make sure you ought to be able to see when you get that line, all the nodes on the line telling you it's stopping. I'm going to leave that. There's some things in there I would change, but we're almost through with all the lines. Well, we got some down here by the back wheel. And here's a deal that we can hold down the Alt key and grab like 3 lines at a time. Whoop, I must have gone too far. So just get your pick tool and delete these lines. Whoop. And then if you see something, delete. So if you don't get that bounding box around the lines, you know you're deleting something you shouldn't delete. Sometimes it's easier to pick inside of an object, but keep a look on the whole thing. Just make sure you get that bounding box before you hit delete. There's a line right there I don't think we need. Now here's a good reason to use the shape tool right here. If we hit this, that's just a partial line. So if you use the shape tool, you know you're just getting those two nodes. See, there's actually 3 lines there. We're almost done. And then do the same thing on the trees. I might try to do it later. I need to get out and do some things in the shop. But I think we got it. Now what we're going to want to do is group all this together, Control G. And also, you're drawing with your Smart Fill tool, you need to change this to none. Make sure you have no outline. And we're going to make the motorcycle guy black. Okay, I'm still looking under wireframe, so I need to go to advanced. And I actually messed up there. So back up. Whoop. Don't back up too far. Change it back to wireframe for a second. Yeah. And then go back to advanced. He shouldn't be filled in. I don't know why he's filled in. Let's try moving the filled in part. There we go. See, it's way over there. There should still be, so now we could probably take this guy and left click, right click. There's our outside of our, and see, you need to draw in hairline. It makes a big difference. Now let's see if we got some lines left. So we're going to take all this and right click and outline. See, there's that 2 millimeter that's going to hurt you. Somehow I lost all my lines. So I'm going to back up here quite a bit. Go back to wireframe. There's those lines, so I know I'm where I'm at. This is taking longer than I did it the first time. Now I think we got all the lines. Let's try smart filling it again. You should, if you have a leak, it'll, you know, some of this could be cleaned up, but it'll work. It'll give us some neat look. Go back to view and it, see, I don't know why that's doing that. Go back to wireframe. See, it should not, it should just fill in unless we got a leak. Let's fill that in and then taking just a second and then move it over. Now let's look. See, it's not getting in those little crescents. So it's almost like it's a leak. I just did this. See, that's what it should look like. It should not fill in all those parts. So look at under wireframe again. I'm not doing a very good job here. So what we probably need to do is select it all, get your shape tool and then select all this, go up to Windows, Dockers, join curves, set it pretty little, like maybe like 0.02, hit apply. Well, we need to select all the nodes and then hit apply. That should remedy the look. Go back to enhance. Let's take away the fill. Take away the outline. Wow. There we go. See, and you need to draw in a hairline because that'll make a whole world of difference. So let's get rid of this motorcycle. Let's actually change our nudge factor to like 2 inches. And let's take the Smart Fill tool and fill this in. Let's make sure we're in advance. Yes, we are. See, there's our graphic. So that's what we want. That's a good vector engravable graphic. We'll test it with a yellow box trick. Draw a yellow box, make it yellow, go up to object, order back a page, and you can see that there's nothing there. So go to F12 on your keyboard, graphic, and change this to hairline. And actually, if you're going to do a lot of cutting, I would change it to RGB and red. Now, every time you draw an item, it'll be red hairline. So now what we need to do is make a boundary around this. Easiest way to do that is to take a box. See, I'm drawing in a hairline now. Smart fill tool. We'll set it something other than black. We'll fill that in and nudge that over. Fill that in and nudge it down. Left click, right click. There's your outline. We're going to go to Effects and Contour. We're going to contour the outside just 0.01 in black because we got it red. So it's got that little bit of a contour. And you can change that, make it less or more. Go up to Object, break the contour part, take the inside one and move it out of the way. That's your outer contour that's bigger. Now make it red and put it up by your motorcycle. So now you have a motorcycle man that is engravable. I mean, some of this stuff might look pretty good, but you can see some of the things you could fix, but I wouldn't bother. It all depends on how big this is. Sorry that took so long and kind of confusing. But then, because you made a copy of your trees, and your trees are a bitmap too, I might make a second video and kind of complete the process. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.